Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. As a motocross racer and enthusiast, I think there's nothing I like doing more than checking out the factory pro bikes and just picking out all those little things that you know are like super special for them, not necessarily available to the consumer. Personally, I just like seeing stuff that's like super customized for top guys, like one-of-one products. I'm talking about like super high-end billet brake calipers, those little carbon fiber guards that go over like the brake lines and stuff, or even something just as simple as getting like the pipes engraved with their names or something like that. Personally, I just like drooling over that stuff and dreaming that I'll have some of that someday. If there's one thing I do like more than that, it's when those parts become available to the general public, which is exactly what a company called Works Chassis Lab is doing with their titanium motor mounts. And for the longest time, they weren't really available to the public until now. They set out for me to try out today. They've got the lower mounts and then a couple sets of the upper mounts right here. They sent out one that has a little bit smaller of a cutout in it, and then this one has a little bit bigger cutout and it's a little bit thinner. The theory behind that is that one's set up for more comfort, like off-road racers and just those who are looking for like a really soft ride, and then the stiff one is for like hardcore racers or those guys who like to feel a lot of feedback. So yeah, really cool, really excited to try these out. Obviously, I'm always super stoked when I get to try out some really cool parts. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I've always been a little bit skeptical about this just because when I'm looking at these tiny little pieces, I can't imagine them making that big of a difference, but just looking at all the reviews, and they've all been raving about them. So without further ado, we're gonna head out to the local track and see what all the buzz is about. Let's get loaded up and try these babies out. All right guys, first session is in the books. We just ran it with the stock stuff on here. It's got the stock upper mount, stock lower mount. Basically just went out there and broke the track in, tried to get some ruts and some bumps for them so that I can really feel the difference when I put these mounts on. So the first thing we're gonna do is replace the stock upper mounts with the stiffer version of their aluminum upper mounts. So I'll go ahead and show you guys what that looks like. As you can see, the cut out on this one is quite a bit bigger than it is on that one. So these are the stiffer and these are the softer. We're gonna go ahead and give these ones a go right now. So with these cutouts, it's gonna allow the motor to flex a little bit more side to side. So it's gonna help with the suspension feel over the little bumps, basically like coming out and coming into corners. Obviously with like a pro suspension setup, we run it pretty stiff so it can handle all those really hard hits, but sometimes that can make it feel kind of harsh on the little bumps. So hopefully, I'm hoping what this does is just makes those little bumps coming in and out of corners a little bit more manageable. So we're gonna swap these on, go out there again, see how it feels. Got Dr. P over here taking care of business, getting those stock mounts off. It's probably pretty hot right now, huh?
Yes, they are.
Alright guys, so I went out and did the first session with the stock lower mounts and the what they call their mid-firm top mounts. The track still wasn't super rough yet, it just had like a little bit of chop, which I feel like is actually really good for testing out motor mounts because motor mounts are supposed to deal with that little chop well. And it felt like the spot where I noticed it the most was coming through like towards the entry of corners, where if it was a nice rut and it just had a little bit of chop, it was just easier to kind of hold it on the gas and it wasn't like trying to kick me so hard. Like I was saying before, with the pro suspension, you have to set it up really stiff, so when you hit little bumps like that, it really is jarring. So it definitely felt like it soaked that up a little bit. I'm definitely excited to try the softer ones because I think that's gonna feel really good. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead, throw the titanium lower mounts on. It makes the front end feel a lot more plush and subtle, so I'm definitely excited to go try that one out. And then after that, we'll pull back in, put the softer ones up top, and like I said, apparently that's the hot setup, to have the stiffer bottoms and the softer top. Here's the real beauty right here. Oh my gosh, those things look so sick. guys. I already told you that I was very skeptical going into this about the motor mounts. I didn't see how little tiny pieces could possibly make that big of a difference, but I was wrong. I was wrong, man. I just got off the track after using the stiffer upper mounts with the titanium lower mounts. It's crazy, dude. I've never cornered like that in my life. It just made the entire track feel like there were no bumps on it at all. Like I could sit down coming into choppy corners so early, and I would just start leaning my body and the bike just stayed perfectly level. It's like, I was telling my dad, it's like when you watch Roxon and he sits so early coming into some corners, and it's like his seat never goes up and down, his suspension is just going up and down, and his bike stays like perfectly level through it. That's the feeling that I was having out there. Obviously the track is like not Pro National rough or anything, but I cannot wait to try this out on a Pro National. So Unadilla, I'm gonna be so stoked to try this stuff. But even if I didn't perfectly hit my mark, I was able to just lean and the bike just followed me and planted right in the rut. And that was with the setup that he said I probably wouldn't even like as much as the titanium lowers with the softer uppers. So we're gonna go throw those on, give that a try, and dude, I can't imagine it will be any better, but if it is, it's gonna be insane. Definitely consider trying this out for your own bike. Alright guys, we're all done doing testing. It's safe to say my mind is actually blown right now. Like I was saying earlier, I wholeheartedly went into this expecting to like hardly feel anything, and I was kind of gonna have like a disappointing result to give you guys. But dude, my mind is blown. That last session out, Michael said I might experience a little bit of a mushy feeling, or like the bike was getting a little free under me because I was using those soft top mounts. And I definitely did feel that a little bit, so I think my preferred setup is going to be the stiffer upper ones with the titanium lowers. That session I definitely just felt completely on point, like I could do no wrong, just coming into corners faster and faster every lap just to kind of see like when I was finally going to crash, and it never came. I just kept going faster and faster. So yeah, it's really cool, and the thing that blows my mind especially is because I already loved how the bike handled before. The Honda 250 I just really gel with, and I really loved how it was handling this year, and so to see that big of an improvement is like mind-blowing, and honestly I cannot wait to try these out on a 450. I feel like that's really where you're going to experience the most benefits, just because obviously the 450 motor has a lot more torque, so you're going to get a lot more rotational force on the motor that's throwing off the chassis. That, and then also the Honda 450 forks were always my biggest complaint. I could just never gel with them, and those titanium lowers really get the front end feeling super good. So I'm definitely excited to get some Works Chassis Lab mounts on a 450, try that out, let you guys know how it is, because I think the results are going to be insane. So yeah, overall definitely super stoked on the day. Like I said, the track wasn't like the roughest thing I've ever ridden, but it did get some really high speed chop where I think I could really feel a difference with those engine mounts. But definitely excited to go try this out at Unadilla and some other like gnarlier tracks. I'll probably head out to a cool track called Martin MX this weekend to try it out. That track normally gets pretty rough, so I'll definitely film that too and let you guys know how it goes. But yeah, overall super stoked about those. I'll definitely be leaving those on for the Pro Nationals. Works Chassis Lab was also really cool, and they sent me over a code for you guys to get 10% off of your order if you want to go check out some titanium motor mounts of your own. So all you have to do is go check out on their website and use the code Jeff Walker, just one word, no caps, and that'll get you 10% off of some motor mounts. So they're actually really fairly priced too, so I think you guys are definitely going to want to head over there and check those out for sure. So head over there, make sure you follow them on Instagram. They're still a relatively new company, so they're still like developing engine mounts for all the different bikes. So even if your bike isn't listed up there right now, they're adding new ones like weekly pretty much. So definitely go follow their Instagram, make sure you keep up to date with all that, and they'll definitely have your bike all dialed in really soon. So yeah, huge thank you to Michael, Works Chassis Lab, everyone who's helping out the program. Definitely really excited that this thing's just handling better and better. So yeah, on that note, I think that's gonna wrap up this video. We'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.